Welcome to the TeamCare Chairside Chat series where we talk about all things dentistry. In today's comeback episode, which we're calling TeamCare 2.0, CEO and co-founder of TeamCare, Colin Ambler, is going to be taking us all through a test drive of the new and improved TeamCare platform. The prompt that I gave Colin to share with all of you is you got 15 minutes in an elevator, or you just came back from an abandoned island and you're about to go back to the island. What can you tell people about TeamCare that's really exciting and can help transform their practice today? And so that's what Colin's going to be sharing. So sit back, relax, buckle up, and I hope you enjoy the ride. Colin, please.
Thanks, Kyle. Actually, I did just go to an island and back, and actually, I left my laptop in one of my connecting flights seat back pocket. So, unfortunately, as a tech CEO going to a foreign island, my laptop did not come with me. But thankfully, from Delta Airlines, they have a plug-in application, which made me think about TeamCare's plug-in applications. I'll get to that later. They have a lost and found service, and it worked great. My laptop came back, and here we are showing you the latest and greatest stuff from TeamCare that I'm excited to talk about in 15 minutes or less. So
Beautiful.
let's say about 2 months ago, we at TeamCare experienced one of those dramatic events where it felt like the entire user base was upset with us about a big dramatic UI change. It's like I think about Apple, they changed the UI. Everyone's really pissed off for the first day, week, month. And then after a while, everyone's like, actually, I kind of like what they were doing here. And so we went through something similar recently, and I want to kind of give everyone an idea of why we did what we did, how it looks, and how it shapes into the current and the future of TeamCare with where our roadmap is going. So, first of all, we started to establish this left side. We call it the rail. This is so I'm in as a dental practice. This is Noble Dentistry, homegrown. And what we started to do is organize each product by an icon that runs down the left rail. And as you hover, there's, all the sub navigations that you would have within that category. If you remember the old TeamCare, there was kind of a horizontal menu and you had to dig into a lot of the features to get where you wanted to go. And most of it was very centric around analytics, just like reporting our PMS numbers, goals, leaderboards, stuff like that. But we have just a huge development team. There's almost 20 full-time guys. I love the guys. They're amazing. And with the recent inception of Claude and AI, I just feel like we're at an awesome pace and we're building stuff. And the old navigation just didn't have enough room to grow with it with the new UIs and the new products we're coming out with. So we made a pretty dramatic shift in shifting the entire look and feel of the product. And for example, analytics, we're in here and all of the analytics and even the extensions of analytics are housed in here. We kept a lot of the same themes, the practice related analytics, financial, hygiene related analytics, patients, new patients, exams, the map, etc. All of this stuff started to feel really good. Leaderboards, everything is here, just kind of consolidated into this general analytics category. And one of the reasons that we did that was because we were expanding in other areas. For example, we have an online scheduler today that's like people are loving it. It's interconnected into a lot of the other modules and it's working great and it's at a really cheap, affordable cost. So what it is that built on top of your existing TeamCare, you can now have this scheduler, okay, that looks something like this. Patient comes to this page, they want to book a cleaning appointment, they're a new patient, and we show all of the availabilities at which you can book an appointment, and you pick the slot you want, input your information, done. And all of this goes straight into your practice management software. It'll actually create that appointment in your system and with that patient, all the information. And as most of the audience knows, we're directly connected to all the major PMSs. We have new additions in that category of CareStack, which is a popular cloud-based system, Curve Hero, another popular cloud-based system. So we keep increasing our integration volume across the space and all of these tools are ready to go. And so this online scheduler one is a really nice one. All the analytics are built in here. So you just get to see how many new patients, how many returning, what appointment types. When it comes to managing this, I think a lot of the new UI changes that I sent are trying to make things really accessible. So we have settings here that you can go exactly to your online scheduler and manage these appointment types. Okay, so you have cleaning, emergency, consultation, and the link that you can post on your website right here. So different forms of customization on how you do it. But this is really handy and it starts to feed into some of the other things about analytics with, expressing how many appointments do I have available? What's my fill rate? Okay, so we start to look at the schedule. And because we built an online scheduler that looks at the schedule's availability, how many open slots, we have metrics about it. And this really goes into maybe one of the next categories, which is this new category called comms. It's short for communications. And it has a lot of the same parts as previously, but hygiene recare. But we're also going into the future of AI voice, automations, text messages. I'll show you some of the things about our cadencing coming up. But we started to group everything that is related to outbounding toward patients under this comms, okay, communications. And so this was kind of a new area to the application, but it consolidates some of the old things like hygiene recare, appointment confirmations. We'll soon have billing follow ups here, all powered with AI voice, our partner, Annie AI, which has been awesome. So this is the area you've known and loved. And we have some new UI changes here about a better flow for this and a better call context. So we're putting the patient information here. We're showing you their balance, in this case, their insurance carrier. This was an update to a really popular hygiene flow. But as we're going through it, a nice UI that records the outcome, tells them the follow up date, sends a follow up message via text or via email so that, if you leave a voicemail that they're going to get a follow-up text message. And one of the things that this is tied into is that online scheduler. And so if I go to this link, oops, that's a new patient report. That patient is going to see a direct scheduler for them. Okay. So every link is now unique. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Okay, so this specific patient is given this link and it shortcuts the entire process. If a patient gets a text message with a direct link to their own link, they don't have to double entry any information. It's really smooth to send them reminders, get them into the schedule with one click. So we really like how the online scheduler is directly connected into some of the other modules.
I don't think that you covered this yet, but I know in building out the scheduler, we did a like aggregate data study analysis of TeamCare clients and what schedulers they were currently using. And I think there were some interesting insights that came out of that. It was kind of surprising, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, how many practices were not using a scheduler, period. And so we made a fun little one pager that talks about how team care can be like your superhero that is helping save patients in the middle of the night because someone might call because they need help, and if they can't get to a scheduler, they might go to another practice that does offer them something. So wanted you to provide a little bit more color on kind of the pain that was inspired by the scheduler and some of the interesting insights that we discovered while building it.
Yeah, great topic. So there's been plenty of data on our side that look at the bookings of the appointments, and what we found was like an outsized number of appointments, like 60% were booked after business hours, like 7 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock at night, 2 o'clock in the morning. And I think this just says people aren't going to pick up the phone and call your practice and leave a voicemail and hope that you call them back. Right. Like if you're wanting to get a dentist appointment, you want to have that on your schedule and know that you're going to get in there. Just like you would a restaurant reservation. You're like, you want that there. You don't want to leave it to chance and call them and say, hey, can I come in tomorrow? Or I'll call these guys when the business. It's just like people want to go to the website and book an appointment. We found that with observing those after hours data. And then we started to question, like, well, I wonder how many people, how many of our practices do or don't have an online scheduler? What else are they using? So we did a really cool experiment with Claude and some API stuff where We went through all of our clients, and we have over 1,300 connected dental practices today. And part of what we have is we link up to their Google profile. And so their Google profile gives us, business hours, online scheduling link, a website. And so we ran a job that went out and scraped over every single one of those 1,300 websites. And we asked the scraper to look and to find whatever link it could for online scheduling and come back with whatever those results were. And we found that over 600 of those practices, a little under half, did not have any form of a live online scheduler. A really large number of these practices use a generic request form. And so it says, when would you like to have an appointment? And you type in your preferences, but it's nothing official. It's nothing that actually exists on the books. It's nothing you get a confirmation text message about. It's just this old school form input. And so it was really interesting to see that the majority of patients, over 60% of online bookings, happen after hours, which means that patients are not doing this during their workday. Patients are booking online after, they get home from work and they're doing their house stuff. But yet about just under half of the practices do not have online scheduler at all. And so it kind of connects the dots that there's a lot of dentists out there that are missing out on a lot of opportunity to fill their schedule just by putting an online schedule. And so all those practices are connected team care, like dental practices. And it's been on the list. Maybe we get some marketing muscle from our good friend Kyle to do some outbound to those practices and just let them know that this is available. It's a small incremental fee. They don't have to install anything else. Everything is tightly connected into the rest of team care. And it's just a super cool thing. I think everything in dental is all about filling the schedule. And how could you help someone fill the schedule without having a scheduler?
When talking with Dr. Sharon Blyler recently, the co-founder of TeamCare, about how the scheduler has influenced our in-house practice, Noble Dentistry, just outside Philly. I want to be transparent with everyone. Noble Dentistry sees between 1,200 and 1,300 hygiene patients a month, big practice, 14 operatory, 7 providers. And the scheduler, they were able to pick up between 40 and 50 additional patients a month. And that might seem like,
150.
look at that, 150, great. Oh, and I love how it's
Yeah, that
showing.
that was that was June. We were looking 9 days into the month,
Wow,
55.
okay, this is amazing. And I love that we're showing here a very similar dashboard to what we see with reactivation attended for people who you're getting back in for hygiene recare, people who are due for hygiene, don't have a future appointment scheduled. You can use the reactivation module through TeamCare. And here what we're showing is the incremental production that the practice has earned by people being able to schedule outside of office hours. So it's really powerful. If you're watching this and you have a scheduler, great. If you're watching this and you don't have a scheduler, reach out to us and we will help you get it installed. But hygiene never
Yeah,
sleeps. Hygiene never sleeps.
hygiene never sleeps.
Your office closes, team care doesn't.
Yeah, I want to mention one other thing that's kind of the tie into other parts of team care is we work with, marketing firms sometimes at the enterprise level. And one of the biggest frustrations that marketing companies have is tracking the lead from the initial click into whether or not that lead closed as a formal booked appointment. And so we had some marketing folks come to us and say, here's what happens. Someone clicks on an ad and then they go to the website of the dental practice and then something happens. Maybe they schedule an appointment, maybe they don't. We don't really know what happened. And so that step is like a black box where we lose track of the patient journey. And so we started talking with them and we said, I think we can make a solution for this. And so one of the things that's also tied into our TeamCare scheduler is this tracking link that is really handy for marketing firms. This goes on your website and it goes alongside the TeamCare online scheduler and it captures all of the digital marketing campaign information. And Kyle, my gosh, I'm talking to the man, the guru himself. This is day one for this for Kyle. But yeah, e-commerce is super popular to have these things, but so many of the competitor products just kind of haven't either cared to or listened to their customers. And we work with marketing a lot and this gets continuous tracking from the clicks through their website into the scheduler and really has given us new information and marketing folks about like how their campaigns are performing, when patients are bouncing. It's been a cool kind of side project that's funneled through the scheduler with our marketing module here.
Yeah, this is incredible. And I can't highlight enough how valuable this is. Sometimes I feel like I'm going into the Stone Age when I go into the world of dentistry marketing coming from the world of e commerce because attribution, being able to spend $1 on Facebook and knowing if that dollar spent with Mark Zuckerberg is turning into $1 or more in revenue for your brand. It is a black box in the world of dentistry. And so many practices you guys say, okay, let's spend $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month on Google, and we'll just, take a look at the halo effect, kind of like lick our finger, put it in the air and say, you know what, we see more patients coming in, must be from the Google spend that we're doing. Well, now with the script, you can actually see attribution at the per patient visitor level. And so agencies are going to hate and love this because a lot of people who might have not been great media buyers are going to be exposed. Your media buyers who have been telling you that Google is working, now we apply this script and we can see if it actually is. And look, a lot of practices are going to win because you might want to invest more in Google to see how it's working. So it's a huge win.
Yeah, people are spending a lot of marketing dollars and it really matters. And I think that some of those partners that we work with, I think they've had the same information as what I talked about with when we did our scraping project. And we told them, hey, here's the list of clients that you have that don't have any online scheduler and that they don't have website tracking. And so for those marketing folks, it's super critical for them to show any kind of ROI. And so it kind of was just a great way. They already had Team Care, these clients. They didn't have an online scheduler. They didn't have website ad tracking. And with like a toggle of the button, it was up and running. So we're really pumped about that.
Awesome. All right, we got 60 seconds left. I want you to do a 60-second sprint where you are an office manager and you're coming into Team Care, and what's something that you would look at to have the highest leverage output on your practice today? Go.
Go. I'll go two things. One, since we're sitting here in this marketing category, this reviews leaderboard and just who got named and what is so unique, so special, kind of patient experience wise. We do something very unique on here where we actually track the staff members that were involved. We match it up against the PMS. We send an announcement to the entire team about who got mentioned. We do a micro bonus for this of 5, $10, whatever you want. It gets everyone high-fiving in the hallway and a little extra scratch to go in your pocket. This is awesome, especially when you incentivize it. The second place I would go is doctor leaderboard. If you're managing office, you got to be worried about your docs, how they're performing. When you put a leaderboard in place, everyone starts to look, everyone starts to care about their numbers. If you want to motivate a sales team or any kind of team, put a leaderboard in place, you'll get immediate results. All these numbers are the numbers that matter the most: production, collection, averages, exams, treatment presentation, acceptance. Like for the bang for the buck, if you just went here once a day, every day, you would be a higher performing practice no matter what.
I love it. As the great business consultant Peter Drucker says, you can't improve what you can't measure. And boy, can you measure a lot in Team Care. We make it really easy to do that too. So there you have it, Colin. Thank you for the tour. Thank you, everyone, for watching this. And we will be back on a more regular cadence with more webinars, more cheat codes, all inside Team Care shortly. So thank
And
you, everyone.
the what's the newsletter? What's our newsletter called? The Scaler? The Scaler. The
The
Scaler's coming
scale,
back too, right? Your
scalar's coming
unfair
back too.
advantage to
Yeah.
practice growth. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, the newsletter's coming back.
Yeah. Yeah. We're putting the marketing team on a perio plan.
3 months.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching.